no passage. Once again, last stop, once again, last stop, no passage.
182nd, 183rd Street. This is 182nd, 183rd Street. This is the 205th Street bound C train via the D line. The next stop is Ford Road. This is the 205th Street bound C train via the D line. The next stop is Kingsbridge Road.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
This is Kingsbridge Road. This is the 205th Street bound C train via the D line. The next stop is Pleasant Park Boulevard. Boulevard. This is the 206th Street bound C train via the D line. The next and last stop is Norwood, 205th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
This is Norwood, 205th Street.
This is the last stop on this train. Everyone please leave the train and the last train. New York City train.